So today, Academic Daddy is going to teach you everything on quadratic equation and solving quadratic equation using completing the square method. Anytime you see a polynomial that has the highest power 2, it's called a quadratic equation. And what is a polynomial? Whenever variables have numbers attached to it, or variables having power, is called a polynomial, and this is always in ascending order or descending order. So for this example, to solve this, all I need to do is to get x squared plus 3x on one side, then take the constant term to the other side. The constant term is the number you have, magnitude, the number without variable. So the sentence is saying subtract this from this. If I do it, it will now be equals to minus 2. This crossing equality sign. Now when I get the next thing, the rule said that the coefficient of x here is 3. Coefficient of x is 3. Now I said half it. It's just like, for example, if I want to get half of 4, half of 4 is the same as 4 times 1 over 2. So that this will be 4 over 2, which is the same as 2. So if I know that the rule said get half of the coefficient of x, and getting half of this means 3 over 2. So don't go and be getting 1.5. Just carry the 3 over 2. It means the same thing. And he said if you get half of the coefficient of x, square it. Square it. Now carry it and add to both sides. That's the first rule. Get the square of half of the coefficient of x and add it to both sides. Now adding it to both sides, I now have that this is x squared plus 3x plus 3 over 2 all squared is equals to minus 2 plus 3 over 2 all squared. Now notice something. The goal of every quadratic equation, be it using factorization method or completing the square, is always to eliminate this middle term with something that is equivalent to it. So we've gotten half of this and we've squared it. So eliminate this middle term by taking or by factorizing. So we'll carry this and this, the ones with square. So to have x plus 3 over 2 all square. The minute you get this left hand side all square, don't solve anything here again until you are done with simplifying this right hand side. So this is the sentence as minus 2 plus 3 square is 9, 2 square is 4, and anything standing on this one is over 1. So what's the LCM here? This is 4. So that I have 1 divided by 4, 4 times 2 minus 8 plus 4 divided by 4, 1 times 9, 9. So the value will always be in response, the sign will always be in response to the larger number. So this is something as 9 minus 8, 1 over 4. So we are done with simplifying. Carry this down. This is now the sentence as x plus 3 over 2 all squared. Then x plus 3 over 2 all squared. I believe you know this means x squared 3 over 2 squared. But you going back to do it separately is the sentence as going back to this stage. So once you are moving ahead, so at this point is the sentence as saying take the square root of both sides, or you say whenever square cross equality sign, it changes to square root. Changes to square crossing sign becomes root 1 over 4. So this is x plus 3 2 brackets. Open the brackets. Now if you know this is now the sentence. You know that this is the sentence root 1 all over root 4. And I believe you know that square root of 1 is 1, and square root of 2, square root of 4 is 2. So this is now the sentence as x plus 3 over 2 equals to 1 over 2. And there's something we almost forgot. The minute is only when you're doing physics, vectors, that if you introduce square roots, you don't introduce it. The minute you introduce square roots in mathematics, it comes with this plus and minus, plus and minus. So this is plus and minus 1 over 2. It's important to remember it. So once I do this, this is now plus or minus 1 over 2. It's important to note that anytime your value is carrying plus or minus 2, assuming I have, for example, x equals to 3, x minus 3 over 2 equals to 2. When this cross equality sign, it will simply be 2 plus 3. Let me redo it. I need you to know this. If, for example, I have x minus 2 equals to 3, this is the same thing as saying x equals to 3 minus 2. But if I have x equals to, x minus 2 equals to plus or minus 3, in this case, what I will have is x equals to 2 plus or minus 3. This one will shift back so that this one will come. So note it, once you have that plus or minus sign, the value you have this way, when it's crossing, will just be at the front, unlike the usual way you do it in mathematics. So if you know this now, let's bring it to that concept, so that I will now have, if this is x plus 3 over 2 equals to plus or minus half, this is the same thing as x equals to 3 minus, crossing over it becomes minus 3 over 2 plus or minus 1 over 2. Very important. So that x, that means that x can be equals to minus 3 over 2 plus 1 over 2, that is half, or x can be equals to minus 3 over 2 minus half. So minus 3 over 2 minus half. So that means that when x is equals to minus 3 over 2, we ask ourselves, what is the square LCM here? Is 2. Now, into this is minus 3 plus 1. And this is the same thing as saying minus 2 over 2. Cancel. So that this becomes minus 1. X is equals to minus 1 here. X is equals to minus 1. Now, here, what's the LCM? 2. Now, 2 into this, minus 3 minus 1. Minus 3 minus 1. This is the same thing as minus 4 over 2. 2, 1, 2, 2. So 2. So this is the same thing as minus 2. So x is equals to minus 1 and minus 2. That is, in the first place, x is equals to minus 1. In the second place, x is equals to minus 2. So you know this is your value, and this is what we call the roots of the equation. And you need to know that anytime x is raised to power 2, the possible roots will be 2. Well, this is the first root, second root. Assuming x is raised to power 3, the possible roots will be 3, and we'll call these 3 solutions. We'll have the first one, the second one, and the third one when x is equals to it. So if x is raised to power 20, the possible solutions will be 20 solutions, and we'll call it roots. You know that. So for this equation, this is our final answer. So in our next class, I'll be teaching you how to solve quadratic equation using completing the square method. In our next class, I'll be teaching you how to solve using factorization. This method is called completing the square method. So next class, I'll teach you how to solve using factorization. Now, before the formula method.